welcome to a completely different episode of Gas-o-Loon. We're trying a snowmobile this time. And I bought a snowmobile for a motorcyclist. These machines have a lot of attributes to them which are quite different from what we are used to. If we start here at the front, you see here you do the steering with the skis, of course. It's quite an advanced suspension setup here. Access to the engine and gearbox compartment is, as you can see, pretty easy. It just comes off like that. And well, let's do that. The entire thing comes apart pretty easily like that. And under here you see a, well, down below the lighting units and stuff, you see a two-cylinder, two-stroke engine with 160 horsepower. Very responsive, and you can also get four-stroke engines on snowmobiles, but most of the manufacturers for sporty snowmobiles have chosen to go back to two-stroke because of their lighter weight and better response. And the gearbox here is a true marvel. I think this is the engine output shaft. Through this belt here, you actually drive the tracks, and the diameter of this is variable. So when the engine speed increases, when you go faster, the output shaft diameter increases, so you get a higher gearing. So it's sort of an automatic gearbox. And you also have a suspension set up here for the rear suspension. You can see some of it down here. It's actually two springs and two shock absorbers. This snowmobile is sort of a crossover between a powder snow machine and a machine to go fast on well-prepared tracks. So it's still got some pretty high, I don't know what you call these, but this is to sort of shuffle snow. On a powder machine, you typically have higher studs there, or whatever you call them. The cooling is done by squirting snow up here. The engine coolant water is going out here, and then cool snow enters these, coming up from the track, and that cools the engine. What else is unique? Yeah, you have well, in the beginning all the snowmobiles had carburetors, but then some of them moved on to electronic fuel injection. I actually have a carburetor on this one as well. The good thing about that is you don't need battery power to start it. This is a throttle, thumb operated, kill switch. These are switches to get heated grips. Can be very important on snowmobiles. Lighting, brake, of course. You use the same sort of helmet as you do when you go off-road motorbiking, and the same type of goggles. There are, of course, zillions of specialized snowmobile gear when it comes to jackets, pants, overalls, and boots. I don't have that. I just go with sort of some thicker skiing clothing that works for me so far. I don't want to look too much like a pro before I sort of have learned the tricks on how to ride. You either sit down like that, or like I prefer to do, I prefer to stand up, just as I do when I ride off-road bikes. You get much more control. Starting it takes one of these. You put it on that. This is like a starting key. It's already warm now, so I don't need to choke it. And you will soon hear a classical Trabant style sound when the two-cylinder engine springs to life. Now we're going up a mountain like a forest road here. It's semi-packed snow, so it's going to be great fun, I think. I suspect that we have a gravel road, or a fire road if you will, here, which no one has ever used for snowmobiling this winter. So it's pristine snow. You know, it's like a wedding cake here. Let's try it. From a driving dynamics point of view, there are quite a few things which are different compared with the motorbike. Firstly, you don't normally lean a snowmobile in the curves, rather you lean out yourself. If there is powder snow, you might lean, and that's a special technique. I think it's called boondocking, but that's something else. And for me, I think it's a bit intimidating when I go fast on a prepared track, because the snowmobile is sort of following other tracks all the time, and it moves about very much side to side, which can be a bit frightening sometimes, and it's something that I'm getting used to. I haven't done this for a very long time. And this is really cool actually, because it's a starter button, but if you push it again, if the engine is running, the whole engine turns in the other direction, and the reverse is engaged. There is actually no gearbox involved in selecting reverse. It's very practical, because you can sit down on it, you can even lay down in the sun and have a coffee, stop for a while, just listen to the silence we have here. This year we have got quite extreme amounts of snow here. I think there are actually some places close to where I live where they have got close to 2 meters of snow, and that has all packed now. So we have about 1.5 or 1 meter of pretty good, nicely packed snow, so you can go virtually anywhere out in the woods. It's not allowed, of course, and if you see some pictures of someone doing that on this YouTube video, it's not me, it's of course a friend of mine, an anonymous friend. Anyway, that's really cool this year, and normally you have to worry a lot about hitting stones and stuff, but this year the snow is so thick you can just go almost anywhere. Let's try it. another cool thing about snowmobiling in northern Sweden is that there is quite a dense network of tracks, which local clubs keep in order. You can basically go from the coast all up to the mountain range, more or less all over the northern part of the country. This isn't too bad either.